Greetings, Oriire Funo. Glad tidings to you. I'm Baba Umar, Babalawo of Ile-Ife, Orisa, the house of the mysteries of the Orisa. And I welcome you to this next video in our series of reviews of our blogs dating back from 2016. When I first addressed the topic that we're going to cover today, back in March 2016, I hadn't really considered the origin or antecedents of the question itself. The topic is, and the question is, what's in a name? As it turns out, the question itself is worthy of consideration. According to Shakespeare, in his play Romeo and Juliet, the name of a thing, and I'm quoting, does not matter as much as the quality of the thing. Shakespeare actually has his Juliet pose the very question, what's in the name? We've probably all heard the statement, that which we call a rose by any other name would still smell sweet. Or, stated differently, a rose by any other name is still a rose. These statements would seem to suggest that the names themselves do not hold much worth, nor consequential meaning, and they simply act as labels to distinguish one thing or person from another. But current research suggests that this may not be correct, and that our names may have a greater influence on our lives than suggested in Shakespeare's Romeo and Juliet. Some researchers have found an unusual association between the name of a person and his or her personality. For example, indications are that people with the same names seem to have similar personalities. This observation suggests that our names may actually play a significant role in shaping our personalities. And some researchers and observers theorize that one's name can affect one's ability to succeed. This research would suggest that one's name might influence how we feel about ourselves, positive or negative, strong or weak. So our name is our most often repeated identifier, and as such, is a powerful influence in our process of becoming. It is also a kind of descriptor that allows people to make quick judgments and assumptions about us, since in many cases our names tie us to a particular ethnic group, history, or cultural legacy. While we can understand the harm of making assumptions, too many assumptions about things, for the human mind, assumptions are an important tool. And our name is often a fast way for someone to categorize, rightly or wrongly, a lot of information in a short amount of time about us. In the second Sura of the Holy Qur'an, where it's talking about the creation of Adam, one of the ways that Allah addresses the doubt of the angels about the authority that He, Allah, is going to give to His new creation, Adam, is to say to the angels, "O Adam," or He says to Adam, "O Adam, tell them their names, tell them, the angels, their names. The verse goes on and says, when he had told them their names, Allah said, he's speaking to the angels now, did I not tell you that I know the secrets of the heavens and the earth, and that I know what you reveal and what you conceal? This is in the second Sura of the Holy Qur'an. This verse seems to suggest that the ability to name a thing and to know the names of things is no small matter. It's also worth noting that the Arabic word translated as names here, Asma, in the A. Yusuf Ali translation of the Quran, can also be translated as attribute or nature, according to the Malik Ghulam Farid or the Muhammad Ali translation of the Quran. The point here is that the names that we are given and that we assign to ourselves matter and can both describe our nature and shape our attributes. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad said to his followers in the Nation of Islam that they should abandon the names assigned by their European slave masters. This message was really intended for all of the descendants of the African slave trade. Considering what I've previously stated about the power of a name, his injunction makes sense. Why not take a name that connects you to something that you can be proud of, something that represents or identifies your heritage or lineage, rather than a name that was given to you to indicate that you were the property of someone else, someone who stole you from your homeland and claimed ownership over you. This, of course, is no easy thing. It's not easy to take what was called the slave name and replace it with another name. For many members of the Nation of Islam and others who simply agreed with Honorable Elijah Muhammad's philosophy, changing their names created friction and dissension within the family. So the idea of changing one's name is not something to be taken lightly. In the spiritual tradition of Ifa, the Ifa spiritual tradition of Ancestor and Orisa worship, there is an abundance of significance given to the naming of a child or a person. It involves the casting of divination in order to determine the will of the person's Ori, their head, the inner head, especially their Ori Inu, their inner head, and their chosen destiny in life. From the Ifa perspective, your name should act as a constant reminder of who you are in the world and why you chose to come. What is it that you intended to accomplish in the world? How did you intend to serve? What gifts and talents did you intend to share with those whom you came to serve? What is your place and role in your family and in your community? When you check the description of this video, in the description of this video below, you can link to the my script for this video, the written text. And I've got in there a little surprise for you, a short list of some Ifa names that give you an idea of what I mean when I say that your name should have meaning and answer some of these important questions about your journey in the world. Another important aspect of your name is that names are words that resonate energetic vibrations. And that resonance can be positive or negative. As I stated in the original blog post back in March 2016, I'm quoting, "I hope you can remember the sound of love in the voice of the people who called to you in your childhood and youth. There are a host of feelings and attitudes that can travel on the voice. Some good, some bad. The positive energy vibrations associated with the sounds of respect, confidence, trust, faith, support, and encouragement carry a special quality of Ashe, spiritual energy and power, that affect each of us in very powerful ways. When those sounds and expressions are attached to our names, we are empowered by their Ashe, and we come to respect, trust, and have faith and confidence in ourselves. We begin to feel more confident. We become trustworthy and reliable. We learn that we can get up after a fall because we've been encouraged to do so, and can call upon those energetic vibrations associated with our name. Our names become associated with all of these wonderful vibrations, and our Ase Ami, our energy signature, is energized when we hear our name called. Of course, the opposite is also true, but let's not dwell on that too much. Let me just say that if your name was called with a host of negative energetic vibrations, you already know that some of that energy is attached to the sound of your name even to this day. But I suspect and hope that you have managed to call enough love and positive energy vibrations into your life that the energy of the past is no longer attached, no longer has a negative effect on you, at least not where your name is concerned. If it is, know that you have the authority to change your name, to do something, to change it to something that truly resonates with you, with your personality, and with your chosen destiny. Friends, family, co-workers, employers, and neighbors may all call you by various names and nicknames, and each name elicits a slightly different shift in your Ase Ami, your energy signature. So it's very important to be sensitive to how your name and the hearing of your name causes you to respond energetically. This notion is well understood in most religious and spiritual traditions, where the names of the gods and spiritual beings should not be spoken in vain or disrespect, but should be spoken, with humility and with a sense of high regard. In some traditions, as in Ifa, special days are set aside for the entire community to come together and pay homage to an important deity by calling their name, singing their homage songs, and feeding them during a community feast. These activities nurture cohesiveness in the community and fill the members with the Ashe associated with that particular deity, with that name, and that particular spiritual entity. There's another important aspect to a name, especially the names of spiritual beings. We've discussed in some of my earlier and later writings the idea that when two or more entities interact, they in turn they generate what's called a quantum entity. That is the manifestation of the integration of their individual energy fields. This is called quantum entanglement. We've also suggested that there is a vibrational frequency or energetic membrane that separates, apparently, the physical world and the spiritual world. in order for you and I to penetrate that membrane, we must open a pathway, a doorway, a vortex through that membrane. In Ifa, we accomplish that by calling the names of the Orisha, calling the names of our ancestors that we wish to connect with, and by singing or reciting Oriki, praise songs. It is the name of the thing that allows you to make that connection. When your name is called, it brings you to attention. When the names of the Orisha and Egun, your ancestors, are called, they also are moved to attention. This is another reason why it's so important to organize your calendar, to take the Ifa calendar, the 7-day and the 4-day Ifa calendar, put it on your monthly calendar, with identifying each day, what that day is and what Orisha is to be homaged on that day, so that you can homage the Orisha on their special days. This has you reciting the names of the Orisha and passing through that membrane, creating that connection, reinforcing that connection on a regular basis. But more importantly, you should call your guardian Orisha's names out loud often, because when you do, you give power to the quantum entity that you share with your Orisha. You strengthen the connection that you share. And because you keep the pathway, the doorway, the vortex between the material world and the spiritual world open, you have constant access, a constant flow of energy from you to the Orisha, from you to your ancestors, and vice versa, from the Orisha to you and from your ancestors to you. Yes, there is something much more important than a name simply labeling a thing. The name has great power. I hope you get something out of this video. I hope you'll comment in the comment section below on this video. Go to the website, check out the written text if you want to study this some more, and if you also want to get those 10 or so names that I included in the written text. And stay in touch. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Ashe, Ashe, Ashe.